almost an impossibility. Even the U.S. government, they say the U.S. government kept it all secret. Well, it really wasn't kept secret by design. The system itself does it. And I always tell people, let the government alone, it'll cover itself up. So this is my answer. It's possible. I can't sit here and say, no, it's impossible, but I can say this. Maybe it's illogical, not there. Because the evidence can't be hidden that long. So on the other side, I got to say, I'm not going to look for it. I'm not going to try finding the information because I think I'm wasting my time. I'll work with what I got and know. This is my answer, man. This is to be a realist. Even when I was working with General Trudeau, he called me in one day and he said, "You're going to be project officer on the anti-missile missile. Don't tell me you don't have the time. I know you don't, but you'll do it. I'll put you in charge. You get it started at the right time. You recommend somebody who will take over for you." I was too busy even to do that, but he made me do it, and I did it. And it worked out pretty good. Now I'm look back, I'm glad he put me in charge. I was actually the first project officer on an anti-missile missile. I'm glad I did it now, but you see what I was up against, what you're up against, things like, how long can you keep things quiet? How much can you do?
Now, going back to those 2 or 3 discs that you recovered, I mean, the one you saw.
I saw 2 of them, yeah.
You saw 2 of them?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, the one I don't talk about. I think you know where it was. And even on this show, this guy mentioned that machine, and then I didn't say anything else. The one I saw was at one of the air bases. Yeah, I'm not going to say where it was, but it was there. And that was it. I didn't go in it. And I say that I had a lot of information on what was inside. There was nothing I could gain by going inside and looking at it. I had the drawings, how it looked inside. I had what was in there. And really, to go in, it would have been curiosity. And in those days, I didn't have the time for your curiosity. Since I knew already what was there and I had the reports, knowing what would I gain by going in there? I had to take off anyway and go back. And it wasn't, in those days, it wasn't like something new that I was discovering new. I knew about the things. And so I let it go. Yeah, there was curiosity. At times I liked to see what was in there. But not always. I've gone in new projects, new airplanes we built to see what they were. But in many cases, I knew what was there already. And remember, I didn't have that much time. Really, when I was working in research and development, the time element was one of the things. There wasn't enough hours in the day to do what I was doing.
Who were the scientists working on that craft, for instance?
Oh, I don't know.
Aerospace people, technicians?
They were mostly, they called themselves aerospace technicians in large. But then many times I've questioned that definition too. Were they really aerospace technicians? Because I know people in the UFO field now call themselves nuclear physicists, nuclear. What did they do? I don't have any idea what they do. Where did they get that name? They fabricate it themselves? I used to go to Belvoir to our atomic labs that belonged to us and we financed. And they created atomic engine. That didn't make me a nuclear physicist. In fact, more like when I'd go there, I was the dumbest one in the area because everybody else knew what they were doing. I didn't know. I just go there because I happened to be the one that was in the higher headquarters and worked on the budget for them. So there's a lot of things happening. And a lot of the books, people say, well, he's read the books. I never read any of these UFO books. The only 2 books I've ever read were Jack Valley's books because I met him and he was considered a friend and we talked about it. I never read any of these other books because I figured what? It's the same thing. They talked to maybe a different witness and that's all can be there. And how much did the witness know? And then I asked the question, were you there when I was doing this work? What clearances did you have? That answers a question, and they shy away from that. They don't want to answer those questions. And you have to look at the people who call themselves professional speakers. They get around and give the little lectures, they get paid for it. And it don't matter. I figure it's a way of life. Let them alone. I don't care. I'm not going to discuss this with them. They criticize me, so what? Let them criticize. They'll fall their own weight. It doesn't matter. In fact, to tell you the truth, there's a lot of times I've thought lately, why the heck did I write this book? Why didn't I just forget it and go back in my easy chair? Why did I do it? Now there's other books to be written. And many times I look at them all and I figure, why don't I throw them away and get rid of them and forget it? Then I look at my kids, my grandchildren, and I figure, well, I better not forget it. Maybe I'll do something with it. I gave this talk to 2,500 people up in Washington. They were all sitting on the ground. And I told this story many times. I hope, I say, why don't I throw them away and destroy them? And they all looked at me, so I told them, but I'll tell you what, I promise you I won't destroy them. They started to clap. Everyone gave me an ovation, and I said, that simple little thing. I told them, in fact, I get the urge to destroy them, and I look at my grandchildren, I think, I can't destroy them. If nothing else, I'll leave it for them.
Yeah, I don't understand one part of your reconstruction of the entire situation pertaining to the physical body of the alien, that's integrated part of the craft. When he fades, when he disappears because he's out of his environment, electromagnetic environment, he dies. What happens to the craft? If the craft is also an integrated part, or is the envelope of the creature,
yeah.
Supposedly also the craft is affected by time.
It's affected because it has an atomic structure around it. And remember, it builds up a plasma area around the outside. And like Olbert said, it has an electromagnetic surrounding. It pushes through air in this world, and it collects its energy from Einstein's word. Space is an atomistic structure, and it draws its atoms from space. For a certain time longer than the body, I think, this is what I think, there's enough electromagnetism in this world where it can draw. So the extraterrestrial, he's a little different. He's composed in a way of cells also, like humans are. This structure has some metallic surroundings, so it has to survive in space, from debris in space, which keeps striking it constantly. It'll knock holes in it. So there's a little different strength there that will last a few more years. It is really almost a biological type of biological structure, because the extraterrestrial fits in it, but made with a little more strength that's needed in the extra. Remember, these cloners that made these things made them in a way where they would fit in what they wanted to fit in. The ship itself is maybe a biological type structure because of the cell and the atom structure, but it's all created with more strength because it has to resist more. This being is protected in a way. Now, when this being comes in this world, he will wear a suit, skin-tight suit, which we found. His skin is atomically aligned, and his suit is atomically aligned. That's to repel radiation and harmful effects, even cosmic action. Since he doesn't breathe air, the ones that come alive in this world will have a type of helmet on them. And since he doesn't speak, he has no vocal cords, he will have something that intensifies that transmission, that he maybe can communicate.